Welcome to Chamber Chats, a weekly series by the West Monroe West Washita Chamber of Commerce highlighting our valued members. As always, find out more about the Chamber and our members online at westmonroechamber.org. And now, this week's episode of West Monroe West Washita Chamber Chats.
Everyone, thank you for joining us for another episode of Chamber Chats with the West Monroe West Washita Chamber of Commerce. We're excited today to be at Louisiana Delta Community College filming this series, and we're joined with our member, Bill, with First Impression Graphics. So tell us about FIG. Tell us about your company.
Yeah, FIG, that's what the college age people call us, First Impression Graphics. Yeah. We began in 97.
Yeah.
Which my 17-year-old says, you started
when?
business back in the 1900s. So it really
making us feel really good.
Puts it in perspective. But yeah, we started out just screen printing, and now we've gone into embroidery and merch.
And when you say we, it's a family affair, right?
It is.
It's you and your wife and your son, you mentioned.
Our son does help out after school. He comes in, and so yeah. Cindy and I started it, and we have about 7 employees altogether.
Wow. Wow. So you've made a family out of and expanded.
My daughter-in-law is the office manager.
Oh,
well, so
I love it. That's awesome.
Nice.
So reflecting on 1997 till now, the internet's a bigger part of consumers' thought process now. But you all have always in this community served us and made sure that our graphics look crisp, that our T-shirts are always there for our event. How do you balance this new ecosystem with the internet and everything else that's going on as competition?
The other day at the chamber meeting, you mentioned that with marketing, the old school marketing, you had to have like 7 exposures to something before people would remember your name. Now it's something like what, 21?
Yeah, 20 to 30. Yeah.
That can be a little disconcerting. But in our business, I think it's a plus because promotional items, or again, I mentioned merch.
Right.
Cindy was on Google the other day, and she said the analytics merch is
your big draw
is way more popular than promotional products.
Sure.
But anyway, a T-shirt is like a little walking billboard.
Sure.
It's going to be seen way more than 21 times.
Right.
Same thing with even something as simple as a refrigerator magnet or something like that. So for our business, we're kind of bulletproof in that area.
Well, and the time, talking about marketing, the timeless things like a clicky pen, the value of that for impressions for your business is going to always be there. Leaving those things everywhere. I laughed with our friend. We were at a restaurant the other day, and I saw his company logo when the check came, and I screenshot it, and he said, "Oh yeah, that was First Impression Graphics 8 years ago." So they have lasting impacts in the community. But like you said, those T-shirts, that branded material, makes sure that you're being an impression of your business all the time. But what's cool about you guys is, so it is a family affair more or less, but you help us create too. Like y'all have talent in-house. Your wife is very talented.
Exactly. We are a graphics company first.
Right.
So Cindy's very talented, and not only that, she has other artists that we work with and that work with us to get exactly, because sometimes you want a different vibe from an artist.
Sure.
That just one artist isn't getting it, so you turn it over to someone else and hit it. So.
Yeah. What our experience goes back a long time with Black Bayou. Y'all guys always printed the T-shirts for Black Bayou, and I always laughed because we would come and say, well, we kind of want it to look like a cypress tree, but maybe we can have this, and somehow all of a sudden here's this design that we would have never thought about on our own, but it's because you have talent in-house that's turning that out.
And we're doing everything in-house that we can. I mean, certain things, of course, coffee mugs or whatever goes out of town, but yeah, the screen printing, the embroidery is right there on.
And y'all have the big semi-automated machine now. Yes. So talk a little bit about what you've got in house.
Well, we have our screen printer can print 300 shirts an hour comfortably. That's just comfortably, Wow. It could actually do more if humanly possible. You could, but nobody wants to work.
No.
Maybe with AI that's coming, but yeah, and so we have a 6-head embroidery machine, so we can get polo shirts and caps and stuff like that out pretty quickly. So
and match your exact brand colors, and make sure that we're conforming to style guide for your company.
Yes, and the customer can come in and look and go, wait, I want this or I want that, or they sit down with Cindy and create something.
And that's really, when we talk about always shopping local, that's really where y'all beat everyone. Is I can come and feel the t-shirt. I can come and see the color of ink to make sure it's right. It's not some blind thing that's going to come to me in the mail, and then, well, it's kind of okay. It might be cheaper, might not in the end, but I never got that tactile relationship. And y'all, I can see the hat, I can see a product in house.
Exactly, and another good thing is it keeps the dollars in
local
NELA.
Right.
And that there's a lot of statistics on how those
it's always more
dollars
impactful.
Multiply.
Yeah.
Sure.
So what do you think one's misconception about your industry? T-shirts, a promotional product, merch in general.
Merch in general. I'm not sure. I think that there's a favorable opinion about it because it's been around for so long, they're not going away.
Right.
You'd think screen printing, I forget when it was created, but it came around and people thought, oh, this is a fad, it's going to go away. And years and years later, it's like,
we're still
it's not going anywhere.
Separating those colors and making their own screens and everything.
And same thing with embroidery. I mean, when you have your company shirt on with the logo right here, it's just more professional. When you go to a trade show, you see people that come out with their, you bring out your best.
Right.
And you want to, look like you're on the same team.
Right, right. And it brings legitimacy to what you're doing. People think that you've invested probably more than you really have into that look and professional. So ultimately, you've been in this business for a while. What brings you joy serving your clients?
Well, we try to keep things new, keep things fresh, and get into, because you don't, I've heard that you think 60 to 70,000 thoughts a day.
Yeah.
The downside to that is 90-something% were the same ones you thought yesterday.
Probably so, yeah.
Before. So you just get into this pattern, and it's easy to get that kind of hypnotized like that. So I make a special point to, let's do something different. Let's change it up a little. Let's find something that we haven't done before. And that way, 20-something years in business, and it's still fun to get up in the morning.
You said mix it up a little. What are emerging trends that you're seeing in merch? What's new and fun?
I don't know exactly everything because there's literally a million
projects.
promotional products on our site.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're all on our site, but we're available to it. So
might as well be.
There's things just all the time. I actually look to my customer for that information before, because we'll collaborate and say, because they know their business better than I do. But 26 years in business, I can certainly contribute an opinion too. So I find out what the trend is in their business, and then kind of work together with them and say, okay, well, I've got an idea. What if we do this?
So what are the timeless products? I'm sure clicky pens, T-shirts. What are the other things that are
there's a bunch of, I guess, obviously T-shirts.
Yeah.
Koozies.
Yeah, koozies never got us done.
I mentioned refrigerator magnets, maybe that. Not that we are big on all that, but these things exist for a reason, because I go into my mom's house and there it is, the same refrigerator magnet.
Right.
And you see these things consciously and subconsciously every day. So there's just you get on our website and it's literally A to Z, anything and everything.
Yeah.
And you can kind of see what's most popular and what's been around forever.
What I appreciate about y'all is that you're listening to your customers first. You're not leading with a package. You're not leading with, hey, we're trying to get you to $1,000, right? You're always. It's always been such a cool dialogue to have. What's possible? Well, anything. Now, what are your real needs? Who's your audience? And let us get you there. So, thank you so much. What do people find you online? What's your contact information?
Yeah, well, we're right by the railroad tracks on Thomas Road.
That's right. We're good or bad.
Right in front of the duck people. So we get a lot of exposure. People stop for the train, they're looking at it.
Yeah, yeah.
And so there's that. But then firstimpressiongraphics.com is our website. Google us.
Yeah.
Go to the chamber.
Sure.
And see, we're listed there. We're easy to find. We've been around for a long time, so a lot of our business is repeat customers, but we're always meeting new people, and that's part of the fun.
Well, and thanks for being such a great supporter of nonprofits in our area. They often don't have a huge budget, and working with you guys has always been a pleasure to make sure that we're maximizing our dollars. So thank you for what you do. Hey, this has been another episode of Chamber Chats with our great friends at First Impression Graphics. Find out more about members like First Impression Graphics on our website, westmonroechamber.org. If you're interested in being a member, you can always give us a call at 325-1961, and we look forward to seeing you on the next episode of Chamber Chats.